Hey guys, this is RBR Forms 13, and I'm doing a review of The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. Um, I did a non-spoiler review the other day when I went to go see it. Um, I got this when I went to Best Buy to see the first Hunger Games Mockingjay teaser trailer, and I got a free poster and a free Mockingjay pin and free ticket, which helped me get a ticket at my local movie theater. And yep, and I saw it. It's amazing they just call it Mockingjay and not Part One, you know. But yeah, personally, my favorite title of the series is Mockingjay. I think it's a great title. Even though Catching Fire was a decent title for a Hunger Games story, but Mockingjay, it really set the tone and really explained of how the book was going to go. I mean, the title just says so much. Just it being called Mockingjay, just that, you know, that that's the whole story. I mean, it's Katniss, her, becoming a Mockingjay leader. So the title fits perfectly, and yet it's not a distracting title. It fits and it's good. So yeah, so I'm gonna give a spoiler review of the Hunger Games Mockingjay Part One. Just wanna give my opinion of what I thought of the film, and I thought it was very, very good. It's my favorite Hunger Games so far. I love the characters, Haymitch, BT, um, Effie, Plutarch. Coin's interesting character now. Julianne Moore did a really good job with that, playing that character. And then President Snow. I mean, there we go. Already 6 characters already that are and good actors too. So, um, and rest in peace to Philip Seymour Hoffman. He was a great actor, and he does very good in this. And mostly all the actors do a very, very good job. And that's thanks to Francis Lawrence, directing this movie and part two and Catching Fire. He's really developed these characters that I don't think Gary Ross would have developed them from the first Hunger Games. So I mean, he brings a different tone to the Hunger Games story. It's darker. It's not as shaky cam, you know. Um, but it's better, and even though it's a different kind of, you know, tone. Um, yeah. So that that that's great, and yeah, I thought the movie was very good, and I just remember seeing it. I mean, it was the other night, um, and yeah, I was very happy with it. And then at the end of the movie, where they split it, when she's now, if this is for people that have seen the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, don't listen to this video anymore. But if you have seen this movie, uh, tune in because I'm going to talk about the ending when Katniss is like walking to where this big giant room where Peeta's all tied up and going nuts and crazy and shit, and she just like standing there and like, her life is like just in the middle and troubled, you know, and all that President Snow has done to her, you know, it's insanity, and poor Katniss. But Snow's doing a very good job of destroying her. I mean, psychologically, he's hitting her in areas of the mind that she wouldn't even think he would. And so whenever you see a shocked look on Katniss's face, you know, um, it's effective because she doesn't know what his games are, what his plans are, what he's going to do, and just the way the movie opens, she goes to District um, 13, and anyway, yeah, the ending. I was okay with it. I'm glad it didn't end where Peeta choked Katniss. I think that was the most intense scene of the movie. It just is. It's very dark and it's very much like the book. When I read the book Mockingjay, that intensity of it, um, it was there at that moment. And then especially when she sees District 13, no, sorry, District 12 for the first time. um, destroyed. You know, I mean, this is she's only time she remembers her home is the way it was, not you know people blown up and all these corpses all around this whole district. And then she sees her home; it's all perfectly fine. She grabs her cat that is annoying, um, and then she sees a rose, and it's from President Snow, and that was in the book, so that's cool. And then she starts out in the beginning of the film, very angry and upset and feels betrayed. I can tell of what's been happening and what's been happening to her. And you can see at first that she doesn't want to do anything because she's just losing her mind, and it's very sad. You feel bad for Katniss because she's just gone through such a rough life, and it was cool that Effie was there and cheered her up and all that stuff, and it's also cool to see the other characters, and they just want this all over with. They just want this whole war to end and everybody to live in peace, and you know they are trying their absolute best to just overthrow the Capitol, and we're going to see more of that in part two, and I'm sure. And I mean, the book was my favorite book of the Suzanne Collins trilogy. Um, Even though I know a lot of people did not like Mockingjay, and there are, it's not necessarily the book itself that it's good. The characters and the storyline of Mockingjay. Two, yeah, yeah. Here we go. Yeah, two, and yeah, and so that's what sticks with me with Mockingjay is the just the overall synopsis of it, the plot, and then of course the characters and what they go through. Not necessarily the overall, I mean the writing itself inside when you start reading Katniss's point of view, because her mind is crazy. I mean, she should have wrote another book where it was someone's point of view that did a bunch of things that when Katniss wasn't there, or something, or just write a whole book of just like describing everything that happens with no point of view, just like a narrator that oversees everything. That would be cool. But yeah, I mean, I like where they split it up because I thought they were going to split it up when Peeta was choking her, and I'm glad that was not the end, because then I would have been angry, because it just would have been a cheap like TV show, you know, finale TV series ending, to the last episode or something. So it ended more movie-ish than TV show. And I was surprised when the credits rolled, the credits were done. Not only did they sing, they played the Katniss's song, "The Hanging Tree," that was also in the book. You see this Mockingjay right here, completely like this whole circle that it's trapped in, it blows up, and then the Mockingjay is free, and I thought that was really cool that they're using a different effect for part two, and it gives it this feeling that splitting up the story was a good idea, and I really have a strong feeling that it is, even though I really wish they didn't split it up. It's not necessary, but from what I've seen and because I love Mockingjay so much, the book itself, why would I not want to see more of one of my favorite books? So, it's great to be able to go to cinema and see, two films of one of my favorite books of all time. And and yeah, so I mean, splitting up the finale stuff, that's not, I mean, it doesn't have to be done every single movie, every single conclusion. Like they're doing that with now Avengers: Infinity War, um, which I don't know if you know, that's meant to split up in the two films. I mean, I don't know if that's necessary. I mean, we'll see. We don't know where they're going with the story, but let's hope that it's split up for good reasons and and then there's Justice League and all these other and splitting up stories that are happening, and yeah, I mean they're only necessary if the story is so great but yet everybody wants to see everything in that story. And so what do you do with that? You split that story up into two parts, and try to get as much you know information in there, and try to get as much from the book as possible, or your script or whatever. Try to give as much detail. But to me, this felt like a cash grab, but yet not really. Like yes and no. Um, and let's see how long I'm. Wow, 10 minutes doing this video. Wow, I could talk about this movie all day. Um, I mean, this is a really good movie, and there's a lot of political subtext, and a lot of action and drama, and it goes on. Just and a lot of character development, which is really good because part two it's going to be a lot of action, and you want to know who these characters are before shit hits the fan. So that's good. But yeah, I mean, um, so yeah, it was a very very good movie, and I mean, I don't even know what more to say about it. Jennifer Lawrence, she was great, and most of the cast, they were just brilliant, and the cinematography is incredible. It's shot so well. No more of Gary Ross's shaky cam ever again, and that's really that's that that's great. So I have high hopes for part two. I cannot wait. I'm sure it's going to be great. How can it not be? You know, and Yeah, I think my only complaints about it is there's not enough Joanna, and I wish Katniss did go with the whole crew to the Capitol to rescue Peeta, because then if she did, then it would have felt more gamesy, and I wish that sequence went on just a little longer because there is no Hunger Games in this, but you can have your last act. If there's a big action sequence like that where they're going to rescue Peeta from the Capitol, treat that as if it's the arena for this film. And I think if Katniss went, it would have felt more like a Hunger Games movie. But because she was just standing there watching this action, this last big action sequence, this last act, it kind of took away the magic of the finales of how the first two Hunger Games were with the games. And you don't need games in the Hunger Games movies, but I'm just saying, for a sequence like this, you know, Katniss should have went. She didn't go in the book to the Capitol at the end to rescue Peeta. The crew. I mean, they stuck true to the book. And I get that's one of the things that they shouldn't have stuck to the book though. They should have brought her. She should have went with them to the Capitol and rescued him, and then, you know, they take him to District or wherever. I know District 13 was destroyed. I don't know if they're still in District 13 in some part of it, or if it's a new place. I don't know. But anyway, she puts Peeta somewhere, and then she walks away for a little bit, just to take a break, and then she sees Peeta, and wants to talk to him, and then bam, then he chokes her when she's out of the suit and everything. See, then that would have felt more like a Hunger Games movie, but because it was just her watching them go in there. Maybe because I'm just not used to the series like that. But I mean, that's just my opinion. But overall, great story. Here and there, there's some parts that aren't the best, and but overall, it has some strong dialogue here and there, and great performances. I mean, I think the highlights of this film is the acting, the cinematography, the directing, and just the overall tone and emotion of the film and the story itself. So, yeah, so that's my opinion. I mean, that's my review of this movie, and if you guys want me to do another review, spoilers, you let me know. I'll probably do a review when I get the Mockingjay on Blu-ray when it comes out next year. So, alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my review. This is RBR Shortman's 13, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Let me show Mockingjay and my ticket. Yep. So, yep. Yep, there you go. And yeah, I had a fun time, and it was, yep. Alright, talk to you guys later. Peace.